Welcome to my channel, Waving Hand Sign. Today, we're going to take a closer look at one of the most interesting coins, the $1.01 from the United States. Moneybag, if you love learning about coins, history, and collecting, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Thumbs up sign, thank you so much for watching. Now, let's get started and explore the amazing details behind these beautiful coins. The United States of America $1 coin, 1979 D. Eisenhower dollar, is a notable and transitional piece in American numismatic history, representing the end of an era for large-sized dollar coins and the beginning of a new phase in American currency. However, to clarify, a 1979 D dollar coin is not an Eisenhower dollar, but rather a Susan B. Anthony dollar, introduced in that year to replace the larger Eisenhower dollar. This particular coin is inscribed with United States of America, E pluribus unum, $1, liberty, and in God we trust, along with a mint mark D indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. Below is an in-depth and richly detailed exploration of its background, design, composition, symbolism, and historical significance. In 1979, the U.S. Mint introduced the Susan B. Anthony dollar, the first U.S. coin to depict a real woman rather than a symbolic female figure like Liberty. It was intended to replace the bulky Eisenhower dollar, 1971 to 1978, with a smaller, more practical coin that could fit easily into vending machines and daily circulation. Congress approved a new design in 1978, naming it after Susan B. Anthony, 1820 to 1906, one of America's most prominent social reformers and women's rights activists. The coin was also the first small-sized dollar coin made for general circulation since the failure of the earlier silver dollars of the 19th century to circulate widely. The decision to produce the coin reflected growing social awareness of women's contributions to American history, making it an important cultural milestone as well as a numismatic one. Although intended as a modern, convenient coin, the Susan B. Anthony dollar faced challenges. Its color, size, and reeded edge made it easily confused with a quarter dollar, leading to poor public acceptance. Despite this, the coin remains a meaningful artifact of late 20th century U.S. monetary reform and design philosophy. Obverse design, front side. The obverse front of the 1979 D1 dollar features a portrait of Susan B. Anthony, designed by Chief Engraver Frank Gasparro of the U.S. Mint. The design was based on a famous photograph of Anthony taken in her later years, showing her as a determined and dignified figure. She faces right, embodying strength, equality, and leadership. Around the outer edge are the liberty across the top, symbolizing the founding American ideal and tying the portrait to the long tradition of liberty depictions on U.S. coinage. In God We Trust appears to the right, just above Anthony's shoulder, reaffirming the national motto first introduced to U.S. coinage during the Civil War. The date 1979 is placed below her portrait, and the mint mark D appears just to the left of the date, indicating the Denver Mint as a place of origin. The 11-sided border around the inner design gives the coin a distinct visual geometry, though it is still circular in shape. This was done to help people distinguish it from a quarter, though the effort was only partially successful. The sharply defined rim and angular layout created a unique modern aesthetic, intended to symbolize progress and equality. Eagle reverse design, backside. The reverse of the 1979 D1 dollar retains a design first introduced on the Eisenhower dollar, the Apollo 11 mission insignia, featuring an American bald eagle landing on the moon, clutching an olive branch of peace in its talons. The eagle's wings are spread wide as it descends toward the lunar surface, with Earth visible in the background above. This powerful imagery was originally created by Frank Gasparro as a tribute to the 1969 Apollo 11 moon landing, linking America's spirit of exploration and innovation to its coinage. Surrounding the image are United States of America around the upper perimeter. The national motto E pluribus unum, out of many, one, symbolizing unity among the states. The denomination $1 along the bottom. The coin's reverse thus connects two major American symbols, freedom and scientific achievement, emphasizing the U.S. as both a historic and forward-looking nation. Alembic hash composition and physical characteristics. Composition: 91.67% copper, 8.33% nickel, a copper-nickel clad composition over a pure copper core. Weight: 8.1 grams. Diameter: 26.5 millimeters. Edge: reeded, with fine grooves. Shape, round with an 11-sided inner border design. This alloy and design were chosen for durability, uniform color, and to work with vending and transit machines. The size was nearly identical to that of the quarter, a feature that would ultimately hinder its popularity in commerce. Classical building, hash minting, and circulation. The Denver Mint D produced tens of millions of Susan B. Anthony dollars in 1979. Other mints involved were Philadelphia, no mint mark, and San Francisco, S, which produced both circulation strikes and proof coins. Denver's production was high, and most examples today are common in uncirculated condition, making them affordable for collectors. The coin circulated poorly, however, as many people mistook it for quarter. Despite its practicality, vending machines, transit systems, and the general public was slow to adapt. The coin was largely withdrawn from regular use by the early 1980s, though it remained legal tender and saw limited reissues in 1981 and 1999. Gemstone collector and numismatic value. Most 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollars have modest collector value due to their large mintage and availability. Circulated coins are typically worth $1, while uncirculated examples often sell for $2 to $5. However, coins in MS-67 or higher grade can be more valuable, occasionally reaching $50 to $100 depending on strike quality and luster. Proof-like or high-grade mint state examples, especially those with strong detail in Antony's hair and the eagle's feathers, are prized among specialists. Some varieties, such as narrow rim versus wide rim versions, mostly seen on Philadelphia issues, can affect desirability, though the Denver Mint primarily produced standard narrow rim pieces. The 1979 D$1 coin is more than a monetary instrument, it's a cultural statement. By placing Susan B. Anthony on the coin, the U.S. honored the century-long struggle for women's suffrage and recognized a pioneer of civil rights. The use of the Apollo 11 eagle imagery linked America's past and present achievements, symbolizing the nation's unending quest for equality and progress. While the coin's small size and confusing similarity to the quarter led to its quick disappearance from circulation, its symbolism endures. The design paved the way for later innovations, including the Sacagawea dollar, 2000 present, and Presidential Dollar Series, which refined the idea of a small, distinctive U.S. dollar coin, the 1979 D United States $1 coin, bearing the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, E Pluribus Unum, United States of America, and the Mint Mark D, stands as an emblem of American progress, gender equality, and national pride. It blends the nation's spiritual values, democratic ideals, and technological triumphs into one compact piece of art. Though its practical use was limited, it's the 1935 D Lincoln Wheat cent, bearing the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, 1 cent, In God We Trust, and the Mint Mark D4 Denver, stands as one of the enduring symbols of early 20th century American coinage. More than just a small copper coin, it represents a powerful blend of artistry, national history, economic resilience, and American ideals during one of the nation's most trying decades, the Great Depression. The 1935 D penny belongs to the Lincoln Wheat cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it continued to be minted until 1958. Every detail on this coin, from its inscriptions to its composition, reflects the United States' struggle and spirit during the interwar period. Historical context and background. The year 1935 fell deep within the Great Depression, a time of massive unemployment, economic instability, and widespread hardship across the United States. Yet, even in those bleak times, the Lincoln cent remained an essential part of daily life, a coin that circulated everywhere, from the hands of farmers and factory workers to children saving their first pennies in glass jars. By 1935, the Lincoln Wheat cent had already been in production for 26 years. Its introduction in 1909 had been a monumental event, as it was the first U.S. coin to depict a real person, Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent symbolized honesty, leadership, and the moral courage of a president who had preserved the Union and ended slavery. During the 1930s, the penny remained a vital denomination, its value significant enough to purchase small goods. While silver and gold coins disappeared from circulation due to hoarding and deflation, the humble cent continued to serve as the backbone of American commerce. The 1935 D penny thus embodies both resilience and practicality, minted in an era when every cent truly mattered. Hashtag artist palette obverse design, front side. The obverse of the 1935 D Lincoln cent features the profile portrait of Abraham Lincoln, facing right. This iconic design was created by Victor D. Brenner in 1909 and remains one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage history. Lincoln's likeness is based on a photograph taken by Anthony Burgo in 1864 during the Civil War. The expression on Lincoln's face is calm yet resolute, reflecting his steadfast character and deep humanity. The inscriptions on the obverse are as follows. "In God We Trust" appears along the top edge, a national motto introduced on U.S. coinage during the Civil War and permanently included on the cent since 1909. Liberty is placed to the left of Lincoln's profile, representing the core value of a nation and the cause for which Lincoln is most remembered. The date 1935 appears to the right of the portrait, with a small D mint mark just below it, signifying that this particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint in Colorado. The surface texture and fine lines of the design, particularly in Lincoln's beard, hair, and coat, vary depending on the wear and strike quality. Uncirculated examples show remarkable detail and a warm red bronze hue typical of freshly minted coins from that era. The reverse of the 1935 D penny displays the classic wheat ears design, which gives the Lincoln Wheat cent its popular nickname. The design features two stylized wheat stalks curving inward along the left and right edges, framing the inscriptions. These wheat ears symbolize agriculture, growth, and prosperity, connecting the nation's strength to its farmlands and hard-working citizens. At the center of the reverse are the 1 cent, the denomination in large, bold lettering. United States of America directly below, signifying the nation to which the coin belongs. Above the central text is a Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This phrase, drawn from the Great Seal of the United States, reflects a unity of the states forming one nation. Here the reverse design is simple yet deeply symbolic. Its rustic, agricultural motif was fitting for the Depression years, when the American people relied heavily on the land and the promise of renewal. Alembic hash composition and physical characteristics. The 1935 D Lincoln Wheat cent was struck in a bronze alloy, a composition that remained standard for U.S. 1-cent pieces until World War II. Its exact specifications are: composition, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc. Weight, 3.11 grams. Diameter, 19.05 millimeters. Edge, plain, no reading. The coin's high copper content gives it a distinct reddish-brown color when new, which gradually darkens to brown or deep chocolate tones with age and circulation. Because copper was relatively inexpensive, cents like this could be produced in huge quantities even during economic hardship. Classical building, hash minting, and mintage. The Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark below the date, produced 47 million Lincoln cents in 1935. This was a healthy mintage figure for the time, reflecting the government's efforts to maintain adequate coinage for commerce despite lingering economic instability. The Denver facility was one of 3 mints producing Lincoln cents in 1935, alongside Philadelphia, no mint mark, and San Francisco, S. The Denver coins are generally well struck, though minor die variations exist, such as slight doubling or weak reverse details, which can affect collector interest, gemstone collectability, and value. In circulated condition, the 1935 D Lincoln cent remains common, as millions survived due to the coin's durable composition. However, condition is everything in numismatics. Circulated examples, grades VG, VF, are typically worth 2 to 10 cents. Uncirculated examples with full red color can range from $5 to $25. High-grade mint state coins, MS65 or above, may fetch $50 to $100 or more, particularly those with strong luster, minimal contact marks, and full red coloration. Errors and varieties such as double dyes, repunched mint marks, RPMs, or off-center strikes can increase the coin's value dramatically, depending on rarity and demand. Dove hash symbolism and meaning. Every element of the 1935 D Lincoln Wheat cent carries symbolic weight. Abraham Lincoln represents unity equality, and moral leadership, ideals a nation desperately needed during the Depression. In God We Trust reflects faith and perseverance in hard times. E pluribus unum reminds Americans of their collective strength. Out of many, one. The wheat stalk symbolized sustenance and renewal, echoing the agricultural roots of the country and the hope for economic recovery. During the 1930s, such symbols were more than decorative. They provided comfort and identity to a people facing widespread uncertainty. The Lincoln cent, circulating daily in the millions, carried these values into every home, store, and pocket across the country. The 1935 D. Lincoln Wheat cent represents both continuity and endurance. It preserved Victor D. Brenner's century-old design and kept Lincoln's image alive on the nation's smallest coin. For many Americans, pennies like this one were tangible reminders of the values that had carried the country through war, depression, and hardship: honesty, hard work, unity, and faith. Even as newer designs emerged after 1958, replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, the wheat cent remains one of the most beloved and collected coin series in U.S. history. The 1935 D issue, in particular, captures the heart of the Depression era, a period when even a single penny,